With the New York Jets staring at a 2-3 record nearly a third of the way through the season, the front office decided that it was time to make a move at the hands of the organization or pulled by a certain player that decided to throw around his veteran weight. To where will this saga end? Will it turn the Jets season around, or will it plummet as did Aaron Rodgers did last season? Want to find out what I believe? Stay tuned to Gridiron Gab Pro Style.
The autumn winds move like the thunderous waves of Neptune's sacred palace. And here, amongst the blackened soil, lies the ragged hands, worn, torn, and callous. They await with cunning and vicious prowess, for the warriors have returned.
Come on, Dutch! Don't do it! Woo! No way! Woo! 85! Crying out loud! You're making me, you're driving me nuts!
But behold,
Welcome back, all you gabbers. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I am the one and only Mr. CeeLo here to bring you some breaking news. It's a little bit late, but hey, listen, it's never too late when it's time to talk about breaking news, especially when it involves a particular player possibly throwing his weight around. And that player would be Aaron Rodgers, whom in my view was the catalyst for what took place with head coach Robert Saleh. As all of you know, he was let go of today. And folks, I'm going to tell you something. I am not thrilled about it. I think it is messed up. And the reality of it is, when you really look at a player like Aaron Rodgers, who's throwing his weight around to the point, and this is what I believe. I want all of you to bear with me when I say this. And I think majority of you would agree with what I'm about to say. That the problem with this move is that Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. And why there was a need to fire this guy, and I know what people are going to say, well, he wasn't getting results in this way and that way. Well, the reality of it is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you why I don't believe Robert Saleh should have been fired or let go of. I hate that word. The reality of it is, you had a team that was not very good at the beginning of Robert Saleh's tenure. They've made some good decisions, but then they've made some horrible decisions that have really cost this organization. And one of them being they've never really addressed the offensive line. It was a problem when Zach Wilson was here, and it was a problem when Sam Darnold was there. This is not just a 1 year or a Robert Saleh problem. This has been an entire organizational problem. Now, I know what people are going to say. They've been able to run the ball in a lot of situations. They've had some good running games in the past, but there's been a lot of talk going into this season, and even myself. I said on my show where I thought the Jets could contend against the Chiefs. I don't now. I still believed that. Even with them struggling, all it took was Aaron Rodgers to get it clicking. I'm going to have to hear more about why they felt as though this was the right move, and they being the organization themselves. Why did the Jets feel the need to dismiss Robert Saleh when, in my opinion, Saleh's not the problem, unless there are some things that was going on inside of the Jets locker room. And I can tell you, the infamous hug push to me was I don't know where it was or what happened. And I agree with one of the analysts said on Around the Horn. They don't believe that he was all in. And I totally agree. You're not all in, Aaron Rodgers. And to me, the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers, I've already said on my show, I don't like his ego. And then on top of that, you're not even playing up to the level of where you were, where you think you deserve to have this type of ego. You're not. I mean, we can sit here and go round and round about what Aaron Rodgers means to the Packers. You're in a Jets uniform now. And it has not been pretty. And it goes back to what I heard one of the panelists on Around the Horn say. You didn't even take a snap in preseason, and then you make it seem as though that this was Saleh's doing, that he was the one that was not allowing you to play in this in the preseason. And anybody that knows the situation knows that that's partially the truth. But let's look at it. You're completing 61% of your passes for almost 1,100 yards. You've got 7 touchdowns and 4 picks. Now, here's a number that is alarming. 13 sacks. And quite frankly, it's very alarming for the fact that Saleh doesn't call the offense. Nathaniel Hackett, your guy, calls the offense. So I'm trying to figure out the disconnect here. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys, when the show's over, you guys go in the comments and you let me know what I'm missing, because apparently I didn't get the memo. Because at this point, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, Saleh doesn't run the offense. So I don't understand, why would Rodgers pull this move? Because it's got to be what it is. How do you think that defense is going to respond? Now, I get it. The defense has not been that top-notch, that top-tier defense that it's been. But here's another thing. When does Douglas start to shoulder some of this blame? The defense is not as good as it is because you won't come to an agreement with Hassan Reddick, or you won't deal him. So I don't understand why this move had to be made. How is it that we're getting rid of Saleh when the fact of the matter is that nobody else is being held accountable for this 2 and 3? Rodgers ain't been lights out. 5 games and all he's got is 1,100 yards. That's just a shade over 200 yards a game. Breece Hall is only run for 197, and Braylon Allen, the sensational rookie, has got 143. That sounds like an O-line problem to me. But you putting it on Saleh. Last I checked, he was a defensive mind, not an offensive line coach either. I just don't understand the disconnect here. And the point is, can the Jets salvage anything from this now? I don't see it. I see an organization that, despite all of Saleh's best efforts, has tried to right the ship. I don't see him righting this ship, because the one thing about it is Aaron Rodgers is 40. This is the thing that is missed from this. You're trying to keep a 40-year-old, soon-to-be 41-year-old prima donna quarterback that has not shown he is anywhere near. Well, let me rephrase that. The Thursday night game that he played in, he actually showed some promise. But it's been dead to the water since. And the reality of it is, you just probably destroyed the entire morale of this team, especially on the side that's actually keeping you in games. But it's like one of the panelists I heard on Around the Horn say, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw that interception to Mike Williams, we're not even talking about this. We're not even talking about this. Because it doesn't happen. And see, this is where I have an issue with players getting in the way. You're getting in the way, Aaron Rodgers. And the problem is, when you start getting in the way, you're not no better than the owners that get in the way. Let's see. Look at your numbers. Look right here, A-Rod. 29 of 54. 244, 2 touchdowns, 3, count them, 3 interceptions. But she was sacked 3 times. And then, not to mention, you only had 36 yards running the football. Garrett Wilson had 13 grabs for 101 yards and a score. Mike Williams, 2 grabs, 25. See, this is where I have the issue, which I'm believing Rodgers did this. See, Donald went 14 of 31. I'm not seeing a real problem here defensively, you guys. I mean, what is this? And they even got you a fumble. They got you a fumble. And I want all of you to really think about something. I want you to really think about something, because Andrew Van Ginkel had a 63-yard interception return for a touchdown. See, I don't know what happened on the sideline there, but I can tell you this. If Saleh got in his face, he had every right to. Saleh didn't throw that interception. You did. And for the organization to back this guy tells me all I need to know is that the Jets are continuously making mistakes when it comes to the front office. Whether it's not getting Aaron. Listen, as a guy that has coached, I understand that your talent pool is only as good as your offensive line. Your skill players don't mean diddly if you can't protect the quarterback or you can't block. And this ain't just on that sense. It's, look, you can look at the defense. The defense gets tallied for that pick six. I'm sorry, the stats don't change. But to sit there and blame Robert Saleh for what has happened this year, when he's had to struggle through Zach Wilson and how bad this offense has been, and then not to mention the front office hasn't had the gall to say, hey, look, we're going to give Hassan Reddick a deal. But you going to listen to Aaron Rodgers say fire Robert Saleh. Well, how come Aaron Rodgers ain't in the ear of them saying we need to give Hassan Reddick his money so we can get him on the field? This is a horrible move, and the reality of it is, I was listening to one of the guys say, he said, what about Bill Belichick? Bill Belichick, he's exactly right. Bill Belichick ain't coming to this. He is not going to come to a prima donna like this, especially an older quarterback. Because we all know Bill Belichick is all about play action pass, something that we've heard that Aaron Rodgers wants no part of. He does not want to turn his back to the line of scrimmage. This is a travesty, and the reality of it is Aaron Rodgers needs to shoulder the blame of this, because it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. As I said, the Jets are top 5 in defense. All they ask is A-Rod, is you don't give away points. You did that. So what does this have to do with Robert Saleh? I think you want an explanation. We know we won't get one, but you know an explanation. Because right now, you and your offense stink. And you just cost the man his job. Yeah, I'm saying it in front of the world. He did cost him his job. There are going to be a lot of people that's going to say it's an assumption. We all know what this was. You ain't fixing to tell me the organization is that stupid. You're going to relieve a coach who has been getting gold out of trash from his defense, but he can't figure out how to get his offense going because y'all don't have the right pieces? You go out there and you get Aaron Rodgers, you bring his boy in as his offensive coordinator, and he still can't get it done. But he needs somebody to blame. What about that pick six, A-Rod? What about that interception in the end zone that sealed the game? When do you get held accountable? When? Hit me up in the comments, you guys. Let me know what you think about the removal of Robert Saleh as the New York Jets head coach. Also, let me know what you think about the possibility that Aaron Rodgers had this done. I know I've already asserted my belief on this thing. Do you think Robert Saleh was the problem? Also, let me know on Facebook what you think. Gridiron Gab Pro Style, go down and let me know. I'm going to have this up. Also, go to my Instagram at Mr. CeeLo. Let me know what you think there. But my deepest condolences to you, Jet fans, as once again, your organization is showing that their leader, the reason why you guys can't win a Super Bowl is because your leadership. It starts at the top. And Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be at the top. But until the next time, same Gab channel, same Gab platform.
But behold, there is a warm breeze that comes from the west. The blazing sounds of victory fuel their everlasting quest. It is a call to arms, for they are here. An army that has the will to challenge and the will to dare.
ever giving up. You hear me?